how can we actually get real estate leads from doing our Facebook Lives? That's what I'm going to talk about today, because if we master online marketing, we'll be able to say goodbye to doing things that we don't want to do. So, back in the day, not even that long ago, how would we get leads? We would do things like host live events, door knocking, cold calling, newspaper ads, and bugging friends and family for referrals. And a lot of those things are costly, ineffective, and truthfully can be quite painful. So with the introduction of online marketing and the introduction of Facebook Live, it's given us such a great tool to be able to reach so many more people at just the click of a button, and it's free and it's easy to use. So it really is a great tool, but you have to use it properly, right? So how is it that we can use Facebook Lives to actually get real estate leads, so you can stop doing all the things that you don't want to do, and you can be more effective in your marketing? So the reason why I love Facebook Live, again, is just that it gets you in front of so many people without having to do a lot of effort. And Facebook in particular really favors live video. So if you're doing a lot of I'm sure you've noticed, if you're doing posting through your professional Facebook page, you're not reaching a lot of people. That's why you're not getting that many likes, because not that many people are actually seeing it. So when you're doing your Facebook Live, they favor it. So they're going to push Facebook Lives to more people to watch them. And Facebook has become just a place where either to get eyeballs on what you're putting out there, you either have to pay for it or do something that they like, which is Facebook Lives. And so, yeah, so it's such a great thing. But the downfall, I think personally, of Facebook Live is that it doesn't have longevity. So there's so many people doing Facebook Lives, and it's great to kind of attract people and bring people in, but it doesn't live much longer past the live video. So once you finish your recording, it gets piled on by all kinds of other content that's happening. So it doesn't have that longevity. And when you're thinking about your marketing plan, you need to be thinking about something long-term that you can do once that's going to continue to bring you leads over and over again, indefinitely, really. So how can you use Facebook Lives and use the advantages that it has in being seen by a lot of people, but also turn it into a tool that has that longevity? So I'm a big fan of and this is personally what I do with these live videos as well, is taking the live video and downloading it from Facebook, repurposing it. You have to edit it a little bit. I'll usually edit out the beginning and the end, and then you can post it up on YouTube, you can post it on your blog, you can post it on Instagram or any other platform that you use. And that way it has the longevity, it has a searchability, so people can search the topic of your Facebook Live, and then it will live on forever. And the most important thing, which I'm going to talk about in a bit, is having that call to action in your Facebook Live video or in the description of your video, so that you're actually capturing those leads, and it's not just something that people are consuming and then they're not really doing anything after, they're just passively consuming it. So how often should you be doing these Facebook Lives? Obviously, the more the better, but I actually believe more in quality over quantity. And I think it's kind of a fine line. I think a lot of people are really nervous about doing Facebook Live, so I would recommend, if you're nervous about it, start doing it often, because the more often you do it, the less nervous you'll become, and just literally the better that you'll be at it. So I think the more the better, but also sticking to something that you can actually commit to, because consistency is the most important thing when you're doing your when you're doing any type of marketing. You have to be consistent with it. So don't promise your audience you're going to be going live 3 days a week, and then you end up ghosting on them for an entire month. I like to stick to once a week. I think it's consistent. I think it's good enough where I can come up with good quality content without having to just do kind of wasteful lives that don't really have a ton of value. So what is it that you should have in terms of content in your Facebook Live. I see a lot of people just straight up pitching on Facebook Live, and I think that it's kind of a waste of time because it's ineffective and most people are really not going to be that interested in it. And I also see a lot of people just kind of hopping on and saying what's up, which fine, you can sprinkle those in if you want to get, you know, your audience to get to know you a bit more and warm them up. But I personally think the best type of content for real estate agents to use on Facebook Live is educational content. You want to do something that's going to bring people value. And value could be, it could be education, it could be inspiration, it could be entertainment. But I think for the purposes of, for real estate agents in particular and bringing in leads, we have so much in educational content that we could be putting out there for people. So I think education is what you want to focus on. And how you are going to structure your video is the other thing. So there's a 4-part system, I think, to creating a live video. Number 1, you're going to want to introduce yourself so people know who they're watching. Number 2, introducing the content, and that can come in a form of asking a question. You know, have you ever struggled getting real estate leads on your Facebook Live? Do you ever struggle doing Facebook Lives? Whatever it is that's going to lead into your content, because the third step is actually just delivering your content. And I like to have, you know, 3 or 4 points that you can deliver based on your topic. And then finally is your CTA, your call to action. Now your call to action is, in addition to the content being good, I think the call to action is the most important part of your video, because that's where you're actually going to get actual leads from your video. So I believe the most effective way to have a call to action at the end of your video is to have some type of capture page or opt-in page, which is a link that you will send people to at the end of your video, where they can opt in, and in exchange for something of high value, they will give you your contact information. So I think kind of a cool way to do this is to have something called a content upgrade, which is, you know, it could be literally anything. It could be very simple, but basically whatever it is that you're talking about, you could say, if you'd like to know, you know, the other tips that I have on this topic, click on the link below and I'll send them straight to your inbox. So any type of further information or any type of further content that is related to what you're talking about, that is something of value to your audience, is a really good way to get those leads, is like additional information. You know, the content you're giving your video is great, but they want more. So in order to get more, you know, they go to this opt-in page to give you their information and get that content. Now, setting something like that up where they give you their contact information and then you send it to them automatically, and then they're on your email list, is something called a funnel, a sales funnel, a marketing funnel. I'm sure you may have heard of this before. It doesn't have to be super complicated. I think people get really intimidated by the word funnel. But really it is just like an online marketing system. So you should definitely be looking into that, because it's just so efficient and it's automatic, and you know, it really works for capturing leads. But if you don't have that in place, don't worry about it. I don't want that to stop you from putting out your Facebook Lives and putting out content and trying to get leads online. What you can do if you don't have that set up is just simply, you can call people to comment below, you can call people to DM you, you could give them your email address and even have a content upgrade or something else you can send them, like some further info that you could send them and say, email me at this email address and I will send this report directly over to you. It's still effective, it's just more manual, right? Like, it's just more work that you're having to do. But in the meantime, it works really well. You have to have a call to action in your live video so that people will actually give you their contact information and then get on your email address, get on your email list. Because if you see my other videos or heard anything I've talked about before, I believe that email marketing is one of the strongest tools that you have in your marketing business. And I believe that every single piece of content that you do, the point is to get people onto your email list, because that is where people are opting in and saying yes to hearing communication from you. And that's where you can get really intimate with your people, with the people that are going to become your ideal clients. So that's my spiel for today on Facebook Lives. Just a couple of tips, and the biggest thing is just to get out there and do it. A lot of people think about it, they talk about it, they're worried about what to say, but you know, if you're gonna go out there and do it, you just have to know that you may suck the first couple of times, and it's really not that big of a deal. Like I said, you know, Facebook Lives don't last forever, and they kind of get piled on with other content. But the most important thing is that you're doing it, you're putting yourself out there, and you will only get better and better, and your content will only get better and better. So I really encourage you to get out there and do it today. And if you have any questions specifically for me about, you know, what you should say or what you should do, then send me a message or a post in my Facebook group. And if you got value from this, then definitely share this video with another realtor that you think could get value from it as well. And I will talk to you guys later.